Hello, Larry Hillman here with Larry Hillman Ministries, and this is a quick little tutorial on an object lesson that illustrates Adam and Eve, their sin, their failure, and then God moving to make a way to connect back to human beings. And I start off with a yellow scarf and a green one. This represents God, gold. This represents mankind, Adam and Eve. They walked together, they talked. You can tell them all of those things. And then there was sin. And when there was sin, Adam and Eve fell. And God could no longer connect with them. But God loved Adam and Eve. So God decided that he had to make a way to connect himself back to Adam and Eve, a way to forgive their sins. And that's where Jesus came in, who is the red scarf. Jesus connects us with God. To show that, you take this little crystal tube here, clear tube. You take the red scarf, you put it in, you push it in far enough so that you've got a little bit hanging out on this end. You reach in on this end, you pull it on out to where you have the red scarf out on both ends. That represents Jesus, of course. We put God in on this side, so Jesus and God is holding on to Jesus. And then you put mankind, humans, all of us, in on this side, which represents Jesus connecting us with God. Then you push all the scarves inside the tube. And you then point it up, you blow it out. It comes floating back down and they are hooked together. Jesus hooks us together with God. Now, that trick works because on the end of this little crystal tube, you'll see this gold. Well, what you didn't see was these little tiny rubber bands that were on there. And these little tiny rubber bands are now holding those scarves together. When you push the Jesus scarf all the way through and pull it out both ends, then when you put the God scarf in, you simply take your thumb and roll that little rubber band off. Now make sure you don't get your finger in there because it'll get on your finger. Roll that rubber band off, they're hooked together. Then you do the same thing at the other end. When you put mankind in there, you roll the rubber band off with your thumb, then you poke them all in there, then you blow it up in the air, you grab it, and as long as you take it and move it around like this, they're not going to see those rubber bands. And whenever I get finished, you just put it like this and set it over to the side. Now, this is called a crystal tube, but if you don't have the finances or the ability, the way to order that, you could take a regular tube like goes on paper towels, right? And get the rubber bands and put on the end and do that. You may have to put some paper around it to make it the same color as the rubber bands. That's why these are gold, so that they kind of hide the rubber band. And then remember, you're going to be at least a few feet away from your audience. So anyway, that trick is called the crystal tube. Hope that'll be a blessing to you. Again, Larry Hillman Ministries. See you next time.